going to be showing you how to do ombre hair color on hair extensions. The ombre hair color is basically just a top and bottom color, but the difference between the top and bottom color and ombre is that the ombre hair color is actually, it starts off a darker color and gradually fades to a lighter color at the ends of the hair. The items that you will need are developer. I'm going to be using 30 volume Creme Developer for a higher lift. You will also need a hair color or bleach. I'm using clairol BW2 bleach. And you will also need your tint bowl and your applicator brush. And for this video, I'm going to be using some Indian Remy Kinky Straight hair extensions. This hair has been previously colored with henna, so the results are going to vary from the results that you would typically get with hair that hasn't been previously colored. The results will be the hair may be a little more brassy, but I just want to show you that this does work on hair that has already been processed. It will work on virgin hair as well as your own hair. Prior to coloring the hair, I want to make sure that I have it prepared so that the color will come out even and consistent. And first I chelate the hair with a chelating shampoo, and then I use Roux porosity control conditioner, which helps restore the pH of the hair so that the color does take evenly. And then I let the hair air dry prior to beginning the process. The first step is to mix your bleach. So I'm going to scoop some bleach into the tint bowl. And then what I'm going to do is add some developer, and I'm just adding the developer and mixing, adding so that until I get the consistency that I'm trying to get, which would be like a somewhat runny pudding. And I continue to add developer until I do get that consistency. And now I'm going to be adding some oil lightener. This is totally optional. This is not required. I am adding this for extra lift. If you do not have oil lightener, you can always add a color booster or a blonde booster. And this is the consistency that you'll want to have, is something that is not too thick and not too runny, but rather creamy. Now, the hair that I'm going to be using, I am only folding these wefts over one time. This is very important. You do not want to have the hair bundled up too much when you're doing this coloring process, because then you're going to have a very noticeable line of demarcation. So I've laid out my work area with foil. I have placed the wefts that are folded over in half on the foil, and what I'm going to do is start applying the bleach at the very bottom of the hair. I'm only applying it maybe about 2 inches up from the very tips of the hair, and this is going to be our starting point, the lightest portion of the hair. This is going to be where we have the most lift, and I'm going to continue on adding the bleach to the tips of the hair until I'm done with all of the hair. I then cover the hair with foil to speed up the processing time. After about 6 or 7 minutes, less time if you want darker hair, I check the hair to make sure that it is lifted to the desired color, which I don't want it to lift to a blonde. I just want it to lift a little before I start applying another layer of color about 1.5 to 2 inches above where I initially applied the bleach. I'm also going to make sure that when I'm applying this next row of bleach, I'm overlapping onto the ends of the hair where I initially applied the bleach. This ensures that the ends are still processing and lifting while the next layer of hair that I just applied bleach to lifts as well. This is what's going to give us the gradient effect, or what is better known as the ombre color effect. After I've applied the second row of bleach, I'm going to then apply my foils again to speed up the processing time. After another few minutes, I come back and check to see if the color has lifted on that last row of bleach that I applied. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the bleach up another 1 to 1.5 inches, and you continue this process, moving the bleach up higher and higher, as high up as you would like to go. So I'm applying and making sure that when I apply the bleach, I continue to overlap from the top where I'm applying it all the way down to the tips, because I want to make sure that all of the hair continues to process. So I'm applying a fresh coat of bleach along the entire strands of the hair from the point where I'm adding the new bleach. I'm going to continue this process until all of the hair is completed, and then I'm going to go back over, and what I do so that I do not have an even line across all of the hair, I go back over and I add a little bleach a little bit higher up just to random sections so that I'm not going to have a blunt line of color that cuts across all of the hair. I want it to have a staggered effect, so I'm going to go back and add the bleach in staggered areas along the weft. And each time I finish applying bleach, I go back over and apply the foil so that it does help speed up the processing. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my very last layer of bleach. This time I'm going to go up maybe about an inch or less than half an inch or so, and this is to just help the color fade. This last layer of bleach is going to sit on for the shortest amount of time because I want this color to be closer to the natural color of the hair. And now I'm going to start with the longest length, the first piece that I did, and I'm going to wash the hair with a clarifying shampoo. And then I'm going to follow with the Roux Porosity Cold Shampoo, which helps restore the pH balance of the hair. And then I'm going to follow with Roux Porosity Control Conditioner to condition the hair. And then I will follow with a deep conditioning treatment with protein, and then a deep conditioning treatment with moisture. Now the hair has been washed, conditioned, and deep conditioned, and then air dried. And you can see the results here. Sorry about the lighting. It's not the best lighting, but you can get a really good idea of how the hair turns out. You can see that the color starts off dark, which is the hair's natural color, and then fades a little bit lighter to the very lightest color at the very ends of the hair. You can see where there's the staggered effect, so there's no blunt straight line going all the way across the hair just in just one color. And you also can see there aren't any chunks or blocks of color on the hair. And so you can see here a much better view of how the hair transitions from dark to light at the very ends. And you can also add a hair color on top of this if you prefer a color. You can add something like red, pink, purple, green, blue, uh, burgundy, browns, golds, whatever colors you want to add on top. The bleach just lifts so that you can remove the pigment from the hair, and then you can deposit any other colors you want on top, and you will still have that same gradient ombre effect on the hair. You can see how I staggered the bleach when I was applying it, and so you can see different places in the hair where the color starts off a bit higher or a bit lower. And I will leave you guys with a little more of how this turned out, as well as some photos. And as always, I thank you so much for taking your time to watch the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment on this video or leave me a message or shoot me an email. You can also hit me up on Facebook or on Twitter. The links will be below in the information box. And I look forward to making you guys another video soon. And thanks for watching. Bye.